Check into it.
3 minutes. You salty.
Okay.
Are we live? Yeah, we're live.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
No.
I'm gonna check this out. I'm just gonna make that noise until I figure out whether we have sound or not. So it's gonna get super weird.
Better put some water on that damn shit.
All right, we got sound, and I look real weird without a hat. I feel naked. This bald head.
Naked little man.
Yeah. What's his name? Had a great joke about people who have a shaved head and a beard. He goes, what the fuck is his name? He's on Chris D'Elia.
Oh, yeah.
Chris D'Elia says people with a shaved head and a beard. He goes, your face is on backwards.
Yo.
I was crying.
Dude.
He's right. But listen, when you can't grow hair, you got to grow it on your face. That's how it happens.
Faces on back.
Yeah, it was classic. I thought it was great. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We've been MIA because the government's watching Fred.
You're amazing.
Fred's having some computer issues.
Amongst other things.
Yeah. We've got a lot to talk about, though, while we're still alive and still on the air. I was going to do something. I can't remember what it was. To hell with it. Oh, we got a 3-minute timer. That's what it was. 3 minutes. No, we didn't. I made sure. I know I really didn't, but we're going to try anyway. I don't think I swore yet. We're going to go 3 minutes. Starting now. We'll give it a little mulligan of the timer. We'll give it 30-second leeway. We'll hit from the women's tees, as they say.
Yeah, well, whatever that means. 2022.
I was telling Fred before the show, there's a pretty whole world is weird, but we're glad that you're tuning in or finding this podcast in a time capsule 30 years from now and wondering what went wrong. We may have answers. It may have started here. It may start here. I'd be down for some Sarah Connor shit. I'd make a hell of a Linda Hamilton. Not really.
No, dude, that would be terrible.
Definitely not. I couldn't even hang with Linda Hamilton when she was doing pull-ups with Terminator 2. I was like, fuck it, she'd kick my ass. I can't take it. I'd have to cheat and pull her hair. Anyway,
Why is this?
it's a whole nother story. What are you doing?
I'm just making sure. All right, we're good.
Whenever I hear something that comes out of my mouth,
Well, no, because
I'm like, did I really just say that shit? Because sometimes I'll listen to this podcast and I'm like, there's something wrong with you. Because I don't remember saying a lot of the shit that I say. It's very inappropriate, even listen to it, and it came out of my mouth, which is I don't know. Is there like a mental? Do you think I'm?
I think your brain.
You think I'm on the spectrum, or just been hit in the head too many times?
Dude, there's a show. It's called Love on the Spectrum that we should probably watch.
Wow.
It's about all these.
That's got to be an honest dude. If you have two people who have any kind of like mental handicap, they're usually very honest people. So can you imagine an argument between like a husband and wife?
Well, dude, there's like a whole like Shane Gillis was talking about it. He's like, it's my favorite show on television.
I bet because it's so honest. Like they're not going to beat around the bush.
No,
they're going to tell it like it is. I can't even get into this because there's no way I can do any kind of assessment on a mentally handicapped marriage without cursing. No, there's no way I could get through that.
I don't think it's a marriage thing. I think that.
Oh, it's just dating.
I gotta watch it. It's like Australian or something.
Of course it is, because everybody from Australia is mentally handicapped.
Yeah, I mean, clearly after we've seen the pandemic, we're doing great.
Go off, you timer, so I can talk about these midgets. And
no, they're not midgets.
I know. Mental midgets. I meant to say
waterheads.
It's. I'm very tired today. I make a lot of mistakes, but I want you to bear with me because I'm going to have a lot of things that are really fucked up. 3 minutes, I'm calling it. To hell with it. We're talking about these midget retards.
The whole, they're YouTube's going to cancel itself.
I don't care. I don't care.
They're called waterheads. Don't say the R word.
So they have a dating show.
No, it's like here. Look it up. It's called Love on the Spectrum. I'm only going by what I heard Theo Von and Shane Gillis talking about this, and it's like it's pretty hilarious.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you made any kind of show about my previous love lives,
they bring one of the dudes.
You have a worse title.
They bring one of the dudes to like a strip club, but it's all transsexuals. They're like, that's gonna be.
Oh boy,
It's gonna be guys. He goes, don't say that about those lovely women.
that's right. How dare you?
Dude, did you find it?
I'm looking right now.
Love on the Spectrum, dude.
There it is. There's 2 seasons.
Dude, look.
Wow.
Click on one of these pictures.
It's a big hit, bro.
Click on one of these pictures.
I'm going in.
Oh boy,
How dare you?
what do we got going on here? That looks like half of my friend.
This looks like I might be in this show and I'm unaware.
Love on the Spectrum. I mean, these guys.
Why are they? They're all dressed up. And so it's serious. Like, you know, what do you got? Somebody who's rich?
I don't know, dude.
Like it's like The Bachelor, except it's more
It's with people
honest.
who can't drive or vote.
right. Right.
Dude, we're 7 young adults on the Oh, this is autistic. All right, so there's
It's
there's another
autistic. These
one.
people are going to be great at gambling, doing any kind of fuckery with taxes, mathematics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are the families
I don't know.
you got to look out for these
You ever
people.
met there's some heavy duty ones
What?
that freak out.
Yeah. I know. I have a friend of mine with autism. He's one of the funniest people ever because he's so brutally honest.
Well, because also there's no social cues. They don't understand social cues a lot of times.
Bro, he's the funny. It's so funny to me to talk to this dude because he would just tell me, he'd be like, "You're getting fat." You know what I mean? Like first things out of his mouth. You haven't seen him in like a year,
Yeah.
and the first thing the kid says is just the most like. But I love that
I
because
think
it's so
hilarious.
honest. That's what I mean.
It's hilarious.
Marriage on the Spectrum would be a ultimate reality check. I feel.
Oh, dude, because it would be like there's nothing but nonsensical.
There's just
There's no
anything that
non-
comes to the top of
It's
that
the
is
no
coming out.
nonsense marriage.
Yeah, you can't. You know, like being in a marriage, you got to
So
bite your tongue. You can't come out with everything that you.
I mean, you can, but then you're gonna be in the poorhouse.
Shave your pussy
Show,
at the like at a funeral.
Jesus, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
I'm saying it could just pop into. I mean, I could do that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should be on this show. Let's look into it. I'll go.
Oh my God! There's a game show. There's a show called The Retard Gamer Show. TV series 2011 to now, created by
Still
John
on.
Miranda. How the? I thought we weren't supposed to say that word anymore.
I don't know. I feel like some people said that we shouldn't, and most of us were like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, they're losers. Fucking retard.
What was I going to? Oh, I had a. This is the one thing I'd really like to address today. It's really pissing me off when I watch any kind of news
I can't watch it.
that these people can say things like a source that's familiar with when they talk about a news story. So their source is someone that's familiar with, or according to a source that's familiar with. So
Yeah, that's hearsay.
that is fucking bullshit.
That's like it is. I mean, dude, this
It's
is
the
what,
ultimate form of bullshit.
this is what all of these bullshit stories are based on. Like
Right.
on the January 6th thing when they had the girl who heard from someone else that saw or heard it from someone that Trump grabbed the steering wheel or something. It's like, guys, what are you doing? Like, isn't hearsay like a legal term?
Well, because it's not in court. And here's the thing. They lost me when they had these idiots reading off a teleprompter instead of asking honest questions. So they're just putting on it's theatrics. It's spaced out. Here's what they're doing, and everybody knows what they're doing, and it's a complete waste of time because of it. All they're doing is trying to disqualify Trump from running again. So they want to disqualify him, or if they can't disqualify him, they want to drag this thing out to the point where they think they're discrediting him along the way enough to before the election. This shit's still on fucking TV.
It's just,
and here's the adverse effect. Most intelligent people don't like to hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over, no matter what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. If you keep telling me the same fucking thing every fucking day,
Well,
I'm going to hate you for saying to me the same thing every fucking day.
well, yeah, because it's condescending.
And I do this. It's an experiment. You could try it on your own. Be sitting at home watching a movie or doing something and just go CNN. As you're saying that into the remote in your TV, if you have the voice activated shit and your TV's changing, say Donald Trump. And I guarantee you, almost every time you do that at a random time during the day, that fucking news company will be talking about that dude.
It's really bizarre.
And
isn't
it's fucking annoying. I could give a fuck. I could care. Like they don't understand. They're putting all their eggs in the hate this dude fucking basket.
Well, how about
it's annoying.
How about with them funding all of the MAGA candidates or something? It's like, guys, what are you doing, man?
I think they've lost their fucking minds.
I definitely think they lost.
Dude, you have to be out of your mind to say and live in such a bubble of fucking bullshit to say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell these people the same story for the next 2.5 years and think that anybody is going to fucking mentally not want to strangle you for doing.
Well, because what they're alienating
everybody.
I mean, how about you got the I've talked about this before, the fourth wave feminist women that were out in front of, we just registered as Republicans because we're not even recognized as women. It's like, dude, what is going on?
Right.
It's so crazy.
They don't, I mean, it's annoying as hell to hear the same thing dude, if I worked for that news organization, I would I don't know what I would do.
Didn't they?
I don't know what I would do.
Didn't they, didn't it sell to Nat Geo or some shit, and they're supposed to be,
they're transitioning, but they're not there yet. And I think I think they're so stuck on this fucking model of, because their ratings suck so bad.
Well, because they're crushed right now. Their ratings, all CNN and
but this
NPR,
is why they're so bad, and
they're lying.
They're hanging on to this fucking stupid bullshit dude.
It's a business model,
and it's horrible, and it's like they're rowing in a fucking circle, and you just want to sink their boat and just stop it. Like, I just don't want to hear this shit anymore.
Well, dude, this is similar to what happened in the 80s. This is how Reagan got in office. All these people voted because Carter came in and did the same shit.
Yep.
Everything's through the roof. International diplomacy, everything's out the window. The economy was in shambles, which we beat in inflation now. And if you go by the numbers how they used to in the 80s, it's even worse. And they're sitting there lying to everyone like, now we're sticking up for Ukraine and all this other, dude, you just turn your back on all the small business owners and sent $40 billion across seas, and you can't. In the same week they denied a bill to help out small business in this country. It's like, dude, that's everyone's money.
Here's the problem that the Democrats have right now, and the Democratic news organizations. They not only listen to, but care about the fucking lunatics and what they say. Yeah. The lunatics, and the small percentage of lunatic assholes have steered that party off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
And now they can't come back, because if they do, these lunatic assholes, these whatever percentage is out there, a very small percentage, have gotten basically propped up and supported and told, hey, you're not crazy, you're right.
Yeah.
Instead of going, shut the fuck up, 98% of us don't feel that way, and if you want to live that way, go the fuck into the woods. That's how we used to tell people shit. We're like, we're doing it this way over here. You don't want to do it this way?
Well, you can
walk down that fucking path and make a fire.
You want, just go do it somewhere else.
Since when?
You could have a socialist hippie commune that didn't work in the 60s. You could have all the communist stuff. You could do that, and you could just be off on your own, and no one's going to bother you.
The problem is, the reason they don't do that is because they want to tell everybody else how to do it.
Well, that's
the true issue. They want to tell me how to act and how to live and who to blah, blah, blah. They want to make sure that they control and tell me. And fuck, when you give control to the lunatics and you back them, instead of saying, shut the fuck up, you're crazy. This is where we end up.
Yeah, it's
with people saying things like my truth. I hate that phrase. I hate the phrase my truth.
Well, because now there's no truth anymore.
There's the truth.
There's your
and
experience.
your experience. Exactly. That's not the fucking truth. Because you could imagine you're a fucking dragon and that's your truth. And that's bullshit. That's a fucking figment of your imagination, not your fucking truth.
Now we have to play.
And I don't have to acknowledge you as fucking Fido the friendly fucking dragon. I don't have to do that shit.
Well, dude, you know that there was I was reading an article, it was about a year and a half ago, that there's a CEO of a company talking about, he goes, it's gotten so out of control. There's someone in the company that identified as a cat and wanted a kitty litter box in the bathroom.
You're damn right.
I swear to God, I was like, yo, what?
That's how far it goes.
That's where we go.
Of course.
I want to be a cat.
People are fucking crazy. Here's a funny thing. So this is hilarious. This is what's so funny to me. I'm a huge. I don't. We didn't talk about the Marvel movie, the Thor: Love and Thunder. Did we talk about that last time?
We did.
We did.
Okay. I can't even watch it. Dude.
Where they just threw in at the end of the movie that, by the way, these 3 characters are gay, and it was so like. It was so funny.
They just threw it in
They
there?
just had to check these boxes right before the credits. It was so not 3 of them, but
No,
they
but it's
just
like,
one
why?
of the main characters that's been with this story forever. His sexuality has had nothing to do with this story. At the end of the movie, he just throws in that he was married to a dude, and it was just literally
It's just
to check the
egregious, right?
box.
So egregious.
Like it has nothing to do with the story. So they just made this dude gay and made sure that you knew about it. And I was like,
and rap.
It's and it was like, oh, you checked that box. It's so funny to me that it's like people are so scared to not have every fucking box checked.
That is the death of art right there.
Yes,
because you can't have artistic, like you can't have any constraints on creativity like
right.
That. So it's like, why does the sexuality of any superhero? They're superhero. They're not real.
Exactly.
What the hell do we care? Like what their home life, their fake home life is like.
I think you said it perfectly. What do we care what somebody's sexuality is? Most of us don't. And we've gotten to the point where somebody's sexuality is the forefront of every part of their being, their conversation. That doesn't matter to me, your sexuality. What matters to me is, are you a good fucking person?
Yeah.
We've gotten away from all that.
Can you fly?
Right. Can you fly and suck dick?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, that guy's good.
This guy's fucking amazing. But that it frustrates me that we've pushed sexuality to such a forefront that it's the fucking general fiber of somebody's whole existence. It's who you like to fuck.
It's really
if that's the case, some of my friends in college, they fucked inanimate objects just because it was they were like they couldn't tell anybody.
Too much. They did too much.
Yes. Like,
too much, man, too much.
Like, imagine if that one of my friends had come out and been like, I now identify with my fucking baseball mitt.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking.
I identify as my pillow.
I love Major League Baseball so much that I just had sex with my fucking catcher's mitt, and I spit in it, and I fucking wrapped it around my penis with a rubber band overnight.
That's great.
But you know what I mean? And then what do you call that dude? Because we don't call him shit because it doesn't have anything to do with anything. Because one time he fucked a catcher's mitt. Do you know, I just don't understand why all of our sexuality is like the first thing.
Dude, Google this right now because we're gonna watch this and you're gonna be blown away. Fans defend Disney film involving a trans masculine character.
Oh god!
And there's a video that will go to Twitter.
Fans defend Disney film
involving a trans masculine character. And it's like dude, the whole scene just doesn't even make any sense at all. It's just like jammed in there.
Is it Baymax?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Click on that.
This one right here.
Yeah.
All right. Disney fans defended Baymax following conservative outrage over a scene where a trans masculine character is seen shopping in a tampon aisle. All of this is irrelevant. Like, why can't he just shop, or she, or whatever the fuck, shop and get the fucking tampons? Does this happen in a movie where the Disney showing people shopping for tampons?
Okay, go down.
This is fucking. Why is it Disney?
Yeah, then go down to the video.
Jesus, I can't get a good Punisher movie, but I got a fucking trans masculine fucking tire. I don't care.
Scroll down a little
I'm
bit.
going. Son of a bitch.
And there should be that's not it. Keep going. It's under the Chris Rufo thing. You got to click on the video for is this the one? Fuck, maybe this isn't the one.
But this is the one that they have a problem with.
No, there's another scene in it too that's just so outrageous, dude.
Excuse me, which of these products would you recommend?
Oh, well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you. I always get the ones with wings. Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you. Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you. These might be easier if it's her first period. These are really environmentally friendly.
People had a problem with so they're defending this being in the movie. I see.
No, there's
I'm going to say this though, just based off that alone. I don't see why Disney is having anything talking about tampons. It's not the
I mean, it's
Disney
just
that I
weird,
remember.
dude.
I just remember Disney being like Mickey Mouse and Fantasia. You know what I mean? Like, and that kind of shit. Now we've got a fucking like a white ghost looking fucking Stay Puft
It's
Marshmallow
a
thing.
transgender blob. Like, I don't understand.
And it didn't sound, let's just see what they said. What did they say? Trans masculine? It sounded like a robotic voice to me. Didn't sound whatever the fuck that is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it sounded like a robot that was buying tampons.
Why isn't this other scene on here? Fuck, man. It's so funny. The thing's like, all right, what are your pronouns or some shit? And the kid's like, what? It's
Listen, they shouldn't be talking about this shit with kids, and that's
I
the
just
problem.
don't understand what the fuck that has to do with anything.
It doesn't. It's just fucking stupid. Stop
Like,
talking.
Why is anyone but your parents talking to you about any of this shit? And if you don't have someone to talk to you at home, find someone else. You don't need Disney.
Right.
You don't need fucking school teachers and all this other horse shit. Like,
Right.
Like, dude, we have our education system is going downhill. They're graduating people that can't read and can't write, and they're getting rid of the scores to even graduate. And you guys are concerned about your fucking pronouns? Like what? Like how about teaching people how to think, for Christ's
The
sake?
real problem
Isn't
with
that the whole point of school in the first
Right.
place?
the real problem with the whole point of school is to educate somebody. General point. This is the point. Not that this is not what we're doing now, but the point of school was to teach children how to become part of society. That was the point of it. It got all fucked up. We never taught kids finance. We never taught kids any of that shit. We just basically, because some idiots got involved and started teaching them algebra fucking 2. Unless you were launching rockets, you're never going to use it anyway.
Dude, you want to really blow your mind? Google the Prussian model of education.
What is it?
So fuck your whole life up. That's what our school system's based on now, and it was taken in the 40s, I believe, by the Rockefellers or something. I'm talking on my ass. I don't know exactly when it was from, but if you Google it, it'll show that's what our education system's based on, and then read about how fucked up it is, dude. It's insane.
We've started making our schools into these basic propaganda art students who have never left the university, never had a real job. They've gone from college to college they've gone from going to school to teaching school.
Well, it's the academics and everything is a theory with no practical use. So they're in this bubble of like, well, it all makes sense on paper. And a lot of these policies I was learning end up getting written by people who are just trying to further their career. So they're just like, look at this thing I came up with a policy. So you got people writing policies that have no actual experience. This is why the state is so screwed up, right? Why all the licensing is crazy. You talk to anyone with a business and ask them about the licensing with the states, and they're going to be like, these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because you have bureaucrats that are writing policies and writing, procedures and things you have to follow that have no idea about what industry it is. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, come over here and tell, it's like a plumber's like, all right, I'm going to write all these policies about education, or I'm going to write policies about like the medical field.
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why everyone's so ass backwards.
Here's the thing. If communication in general, like two strangers meet and they're communicating with each other, if they can't, our society falls apart. In other words, if we have to go through a process when we meet a stranger to interact with for commerce, to where I'm going, he, she, they, them, what do you do? Who do you fuck? Blah, blah, blah. Before I even talk to you, we can't go anywhere as a fucking society.
Because that's where like the Common Core math, the Common Core math makes zero sense. Because if there's any math is supposed to be getting you to the answer the most quick and efficient way and the right answer, period. Right? So now you're going to muck that up with like, well, there's a different way to do this. And that's when that 2 + 2 = 5 bullshit's going to catch up, because that's a great philosophical thing to talk about. But dude, the people that are engineers, we can't have people thinking like that. Fucking planes are going to be falling out of the skies because you got like, oh, we need this many people here. We need that. Like, you need the best people doing the best shit, or you're fucked. It's like my boy is a firefighter.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, there's a girl that can't pick someone up and run with her, but we have to have her on our thing. Do you want that person in the shit with you like that? And it's no offense to the woman. He's like, there's a woman that's a firefighter that can do all the physical shit, probably better than a lot of men can, but that fine. You be there if you can do that, but don't be like a small, like you don't want me coming up a ladder trying to pull your big ass out of a fucking building because you're fucked.
We've become a society filled of philosophers and no warriors. We've become a society filled with philosophers and no workers. We look at people like they're pieces of shit if they do manual labor in this country.
Oh, dude.
Do you know what I mean? We look at, unless you have a specific type of job that probably has nothing to do with the success of our society. It's just a successful job, that a company needs this position, whatever. But you're not smelting steel or fucking, you know what I mean? Like you don't have a forge in your backyard and people coming you to shoe horses type shit.
We've somehow managed to, like, even when we were graduating school, right? It was like, if you didn't go to college, you were a loser. Period. Right. That's the whole thing. You got to go to college. You got to go. Yes. They pointed at everyone who did manual labor. Or like that's a
you don't want to be like that guy.
Yeah, dude.
All the time.
You got to go to college.
You don't want to be like that.
Okay, well, I know plumbers that make $500,000 a year, and you got to go to school for 8 years.
Right.
Which I've definitely said before, but it blew my mind of like, what the fuck? You get out of school. I got this 4-year degree in communications from UConn. I just funded the whole thing. I owe $200,000 right now, and I'm worth $27,500 a year when I get out because I don't know how to do fucking anything.
Right.
It's nuts, dude.
Here's the weird thing. If you take our society and the people, I'll call them philosophers, even though half of them are fucking mental midgets, most of them, they want to talk about things but never participate or do things. And the same thing, it's when we talk about climate change and blah blah, and somebody will adamantly defend climate change to me
with no real argument behind it.
They don't have a fucking any science, and it's like, listen, and it cracks me up when somebody does that, because I don't argue that the climate's not changing because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is.
Well, the climate's always changing.
Right, exactly.
By definition, it's the fucking climate.
What I should say is I don't know if human beings are causing it or not. I don't know if they are definitely not causing it. So I just look into things, right? I don't have a stance where I'm like, I know. And these people come at me with a stance like they fucking know this to be true.
But all they're doing is loosely repeating shit they heard from someone else or heard from someone else. You didn't really look into it, because if you start looking into this shit, we're definitely fucking the environment up. But I don't think we're changing the temperature.
Right.
We're just throwing shit in the ocean. We're fucking all kinds of shit up. So we're definitely doing something, but it's like, it becomes religious dogma.
It's religious
there's
dogma.
A consensus in science. Like, there is no such thing as a consensus in science, you fucking jerk off. It's like, that's why everything's theoretical, because you're supposed to always try to be testing it.
The funny thing is so the people that the climate change are the same people. So unless it's just, I always compare it to somebody telling you all about what it's like to be underwater
who's never been in a pool.
They can't fucking swim. They're not a fucking scuba diver. They've never been underwater.
They've read a book.
But they will fucking act like they're Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah.
They're
that's a great analogy.
And they come at you like they fucking know everything. And you're like, dude, you can't even swim. It's the same thing with the people who talk about space with me and climate change and a lot of other things. And they take these positions like you have. Bro, are you a fucking astronaut? And they're like, no. I'm like, but I know. How the fuck do you know? I'm like, because I look up in the air. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, dude. I'm just saying all I have is questions, and you seem angry. Like, why are you mad?
I love the people who are angry when you're like, you ask questions and get pissed at you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking questions because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And why do you care?
And you don't know what you're talking about either. That's why I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
Like,
here's the thing. It's funny. So, if you ever been in a relationship with somebody and you ask them a question and they get real fucking mad, and it's just a question, and now you're like, wait, why did you get mad about that? And you know what I mean? They're over explaining shit. You're like, wait, what the fuck? It's the same type of thing.
Your buddy at the mall.
Like, why you are getting mad at me asking a question is beyond me. It's so funny because I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying I know this to be true. I'm just saying, what if? And you're like, you're a fucking retard. And I'm like, I
hate you. I hate your mom.
Have you been to space? No. Then shut the fuck up.
I've been to space in my head.
Yeah. Even I've watched the astronauts fucking come back, the interview when they landed back from space, and it looks like they got the shit kicked out of them and were fucking absolutely embarrassed. And that's not how I would look after I pulled that shit off. If I pulled that shit off, I'd do that news conference and I fucking kill with a full-blown fucking set of bagpipes.
That's because they just got off a movie set. They weren't in space.
Right. They probably opened the door and they were like, oh, no, we were on a movie set. And then they were like, cameras on. What'd you guys think going to fucking space? And they were like, oh.
Dude, did you see the guy, like, a conspiracy? Everything's a conspiracy now, and I'm starting to think it's all true. Alex Jones is the prophet. Friggin'. There's a guy saying, like, oh, we don't have we can no longer go to the moon because we destroyed the technology.
Yeah, the telemetry.
Oh, we don't have the technology? We went to the moon with a computer. Is your fucking Casio watch, for Christ's sake?
Listen, bro.
That's just so suspect, dude.
Here, that's exactly right.
So suspect.
The whole fucking set of circumstances surrounding it, competing with Russia, and then all of a sudden we have this great fucking victory where we make it to the moon. The whole thing sounds like bullshit.
Why don't we do a tester run before we go to Mars and just try to put something on the moon?
Why don't we
already went there, right?
Why don't we just shoot these fuckers back up there?
If we could go there,
using modern technology.
If we
could do it then.
Donald Trump would have already had a T on the moon like a jerk off.
I'm telling you right now, if Elon Musk can't go to the fucking moon yet, there's no goddamn way we went there in the 70s. No fucking way. With the technology advancements from the 70s till now, bro, Elon Musk would be fucking having coffee in one of those craters.
Google the little rover thing they're on. It looks like a second-grade project.
Oh, it's so bad,
hanging
dude.
Off of it.
It's so bad. It's like insulting my intelligence. And that's what pisses me off. When people are like, you don't think we went to the moon? Dude, here's a funny story.
I don't know.
Here is my friend's example of how she knew. And she worked for NASA, bro. Not as like a scientist. She was like the fucking tour guide at NASA.
Yeah.
Really funny girl. Name was Tamberly. If she ever listens to this, Tamberly, I fucking love you. But Tamberly worked for NASA. She met Buzz Aldrin. She's like the tour guide.
Oh, yeah.
So she was fucking adamant that we went to the moon. But it wasn't her that said this. But somebody that we were mutually friends with goes, dude, we went to the moon. My fucking uncle worked on a part that went on the spaceship.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And I was like, that's your proof? That some government contract, some dude made a part from that got a contract to fucking make a screw, and that's your evidence? And you stopped there? Like, that's the fucking problem, bro.
So before the internet,
we found a screw doesn't equal we fucking landed on the moon.
Bro, before the internet, that was your Google search right there.
Exactly.
And everyone's like, fuck, his uncle
right,
made
fucking
the
uncle
thing.
made some kind of washer, bro.
Fuck. Case
gotta
closed.
Be real.
Case closed.
This guy his uncle made 12 grand in fucking South Jersey on fucking putting together some kind of we wanted to rover.
Dude, it just how the fuck did we not only we just destroyed the technology that got us to the moon and we can't recreate it in 2022, and also we don't know where the tapes are. Oh, John he taped Fraggle Rock over the tapes we went to the moon.
Here's how I can prove to most people who listen to this that you don't believe we went to the moon either. If you were dating a girl and she came to you with a story and had somehow lost all the fucking evidence that that's where she was, like, and she had this crazy fucking story. We're like, where's the video? She's like, I don't know. I
taped over it.
My phone got stolen. Oh, okay. Well, where's like your friends that went with you? They don't have anything either. No, their phones got stolen too. Well, where's the you have anything? Nope.
They all moved.
You'd be like, this girl's a fucking whore.
And then she shows you a picture of this piece of shit.
Yeah. And then she's like, I went in this. Rover. This is what we landed in. And you're like, no, you didn't, because that doesn't work. Look at this fucking thing.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the world's biggest ball of twine that you see like on the side of the road.
In the fucking hell you're telling me?
Why has it got all the gold foil?
Yo, what the fuck is the gold foil? First off, this is insulting our intelligence.
On. Zoom in on it. Is this what they landed in?
Yeah. Can I go in tighter?
Yeah, if you I don't know, there might be a little zoomy zoom thing. Dude, I mean,
I think that's the best we can get.
What? And then they came back in this too?
Look at this shit. Oh, we got a thing. Nah, it takes me back.
What? Like?
Oh, we got you now, motherfucker.
Dude,
yo,
this looks like I made this my second grade science project.
Listen, would you get in this fucking thing and go 2 miles in anywhere?
I wouldn't even want to.
I wouldn't go to the grocery
outside of
store
it.
in this piece of shit. Never mind get fired off of a fucking rocket that left planet Earth into the moon's and come on, land on the moon and go back up to that fucking rocket and come home. I'd be like, it's a fucking suicide mission.
Dude,
And then they were like, oh, you know how we'll make it look real? We put a
Gold
bunch
foil.
of gold foil and fucking spray foam.
we'll
This
put-
is two dudes
We
in
will-
fucking North Hollywood on fucking crystal meth that did this. I'm surprised if we look close
They're
enough.
like,
There's a
make it
dragon painted here.
make it make it look all like spacey.
You know what we need to do, bro?
But
You get some of that metallic fucking spray paint.
yeah,
You put up aluminum.
and then we'll
foil.
then we'll huff it later.
Yeah, we'll spray the fucking
Dude,
whole
what
thing and then
the
huff the
fuck
can.
is this?
Look at this. An HVAC fucking crew could put this together on their lunch break. Like this is
This is so bizarre, man. Dude, what the fuck?
Let me ask you this.
And like, think
you
about
see
the-
any fucking stars in this picture? Or does
No,
that look
no,
like
no.
a black backdrop?
Yo,
to
you know what's crazy too is like think about the political atmosphere, like what was going on. We were racing Russia. It was
Yeah.
communism versus
right.
versus the free world. Who gets there first and blah blah blah. It would make sense. Like I would have made that call if I was in the government. Fuck it. Let's get in the guy. What's his name? That did Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Supposedly he did all this filming and all this shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is 100% some shit you and I would come up with. This is why I know it's bullshit. There's more proof right here. Everybody who's alive has seen the night sky. Has anybody who's alive ever seen a night sky look like that? Ever? No. We've never seen a pitch black, star-free fucking night sky ever as human beings. Now, you get things
Yeah,
called
I never even noticed.
we get
that.
things called light pollution, right? So you go up in the mountains, you don't get it, and the stars are super bright and shit, right? This is in the fucking moon that's flying above us with a clear fucking view of the stars, and there's not a single cocksucking one of them.
Hold on. What where's the light coming from? Ah, dude, this is like we're gonna turn into Eddie Bravo.
I'm just saying, it's a whole thing is horse shit they sold us. The whole thing. And they've bought it. Think about the cover up is so fucking funny. Where's the evidence? We lost it. You don't have the video footage? No. What's the all right?
And we
fuck it.
destroyed the technology.
Where's the telemetry data and the math? We don't have that either.
What do you mean?
Wait.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have the telemetry data on
What
how
is
they got
tele-
through the Van Allen belt. They have
Oh.
no information.
Oh,
It's
is
a
that what that's
fucking-
called? Telemetry data?
Yeah, they don't know how they launched based off of how the
Dude,
Earth was
how
spinning.
how do you lose that?
Exactly.
It's like, hey, I just cured cancer. There's one thing. Where's the recipe? I don't know.
Bro, I have a password for pornography
rid of
on
it.
my
I got rid of
fucking cell phone.
I-
You know what I'm saying? I know the password to get to my porn on my fucking phone, and I don't work for NASA. How the fuck? And then they want me to buy it. They're like, oh, yeah, you just got to believe what we tell you. Yeah. She's
doesn't make-
fucking a neighbor, and we're fucking making dinner for this bitch. Is what we're doing.
It doesn't really make any sense that we never went back.
Look at this fucking.
Like what? Like all the times that we went up in what the hell was it? The Challenger and all that shit before it blew up. You remember that when it blew up when we were in school?
I did a
remember
whole
that shit.
new.
It's
I went down a deep
fucking
dive.
Crazy.
Okay, so here's a real fucking crazy thing. Real quick fact about the Challenger. Remember how we saw it blew up?
Yeah.
I thought they all died. They didn't. They didn't die
Oh,
until that
dude.
fucking capsule hit the water.
Come on.
They were alive the whole way to the water.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude. I watched this whole fucking thing.
So
on
there's
it.
no. Hold on. There was no parachute.
I guess it didn't open, and the fucking
Dude.
capsule impacted the
Yo,
water.
and there's just.
So the capsule,
Free falling?
in my mind, the capsule went boom, and everybody died.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. No, it went boom, the booster blew, and it sent fucking the capsule away from it, and that motherfucker
Oh,
fell
wow,
into the
dude.
water and killed her.
So those people just free fall, and they hit that water and splatted. bro.
Shot around the cabin like
Ugh.
fucking like a hand
Dude,
grenade.
can you imagine what a fucking scene that must have looked like when they opened that thing? It was just a mishmash of people. Ew.
Oh,
How the fuck? Here's another fucking bullshit thing, right? Why didn't we know that? Like they're trying to save everyone's. Oh, dude, this is completely off. Did you see the trailer for the new Lord of the Rings shit on Amazon that they spent all this fucking money on? It's got like 91 million views or something, and it's got 167 fucking downs and like 60,000 like positives, and they had to shut the comments off because people are so pissed because they took all the Tolkien shit and just rewrote it all woke They got all these.
no!
It's not Tolkien. Like it's
Why?
loosely based on because Tolkien had all these novels. Like it goes deep, like Middle Earth shit and like real super nerdy shit. But it's not. It's loosely based off of before Lord of the Rings, and it looks, dude, it's gonna flop so bad. And the guys they have doing it have never even made a movie before. And it's the most expensive fucking thing. That guy from who's that guy from the Quartering? Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah. He was the one because I think
he's probably heated about it, bro.
What is this piece of shit?
Oh my god! Listen, here's a fucking
and I love those movies.
We all played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Right. We all played, and you had dragons, you had orcs, you had elves, you had fucking and blah blah blah, and you could choose to be like a half orc, half human, whatever. So somebody years ago, this happened, and it's still going on now. People think that orcs are, like it's racist to have orcs because they represent black people.
Dude, they're orcs. They're not even a fucking real thing.
That's what I said. I go, listen,
a fake thing.
I was like, listen, when somebody's writing something, they probably write something like, what would be scary? A black creature that lives underground. It looks like a hairless, like fucking crazy, like silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like that's scary. That's not racist. It's fucking what would scare somebody is like a crazy creature that lives in somehow spawns underground and it lives underneath. It's just crazy to me.
Dude, the people correlating that shit are the racist.
That's exactly right.
That's what it is. Because if that's what you go to in your fucking head immediately,
that's exactly
then you're racist,
right.
And then you're telling someone else they're racist because you're correlating that shit. Go fuck yourself. Dude.
That's exactly right.
No one was thinking that until you brought it up, dude. Except a fucking racist asshole. It's just it's so banana. And dude, this shit is gonna bury. Dude, Hollywood's gonna be buried. You saw what's his name that came out with his own comic book shit?
Yes,
bro, he's crushing
Young Ripper,
it right
Eric
now.
July.
Bro, he's crushing
Good
it right
for him, dude.
And
Good for him.
You see that PayPal? You know what they did this motherfucker?
I saw.
Gotta get rid of because he's doing pre-orders.
Yep.
They locked up all that money. And
I saw that.
Like fuck you, dude.
You know what though?
Fucking scumbag.
But here's the thing. I am so happy for that dude.
Yeah,
but what scares me is the bigger picture, where the other so you have PayPal, and then there's another thing. I think it's called parallel economy that Dan Bongino.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that's a whole thing that the conservatives are going to start up their own shit. Bongino's got a PayPal.
I think that's what it's called, parallel economy. That's what the actual app is called.
Yeah.
Instead of PayPal, you would use parallel.
Yeah, that's what Tim Pool's using.
Right. So that's actually what it's called. It's not. And this is what scared me. I thought when he said that, they were like, it was actually like they were saying we should create a parallel economy.
Well, that's what it's based on.
Exactly.
But
what scares me, and I get why everybody's doing it. I totally understand, because these people are mistreating you, and it's unfair, and it's a fucking scheme against you. So you create this other thing, and I get it. And it's American, and it's all right. What scares me is to divide people on such levels in our own country. It's terrifying to me, because for the most part, I always say this: we all have the same values for the most part. If you gave people a 100 question quiz, we'd probably all answer the same way 80 of them. And these are all questions of morality. Like, what do you want your kids to be safe? Yes. Do you want care for your grandparents? Yes. Blah blah blah. We'd probably answer 80 of these questions the same.
Yeah.
Or more. So tearing our country apart and dividing, and like I said, I understand why they're doing this, but as a bigger picture, just stepping back, because I'm super happy for that dude, man, and I'm so happy that somebody's making a comic book that isn't going woke, that can be enjoyed again.
Well, yeah, right? And he's like, I never even got into comic books, but I listen to him all the time and hear what the hell they're doing to it, and it's just like, yeah, it's great if you read comic books. Like, comic book people are super into the characters, and then they get pissed when you like these egregious things that make no sense and you're changing stuff up. And it's like,
I'll give you another example. As a huge comic book fan, I'm a huge Punisher fan. Frank Castle, Netflix, they got the Punisher wrong every time they did it. Maybe Dolph Lundgren was okay for the time being when the thing was shot. But what I mean is, as a huge Punisher fan, they never did it right until Netflix did it. So now Disney and these guys won't show us the Punisher anymore. They're not going to continue it. And if we get one, it'll probably be a fucking gay Punisher who uses squirt guns, because he's not vengeance anymore. He's for hope and peace. And that's not what that fucking character is about.
Why don't you make your own character that has it?
Exactly.
Instead of changing
Stop
everything
fucking with the character. And here's the point. I can't get a fucking dirty Frank Castle from Disney, but I can get a transsexual fucking blah, blah, blah.
Robot.
Right. In the tampon aisle. But Frank Castle out for vengeance is too much for me to for people to handle. It's fucking crazy. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like you're fucking with all these characters, and I can't even, my character that, and a lot of people love this character. We can't even have it.
Well, it does. Yeah,
They're like, nah, we're not doing this fucking movie with this guy because we're fucking, and John Barenthal is the fucking perfect dude. And they're like, nah, we're not doing it.
Well, because what they're doing now is it's rewriting history. It seems to be what everyone wants to do, and go back. And now we have to judge everyone for everything negative that they were throughout history, and they cancel them, which makes no sense because you can't, like, it's not going to work. It's going to eat itself alive. And now we're the Nazis burning books. You know?
That's
what ends up happening.
Not only that, but what sense does it make to hold anybody accountable for shit they did that wasn't a criminal offense back when they were younger?
I
Right?
don't know.
So if you said something, everybody said stupid shit when they were younger, and shit they'd take back a million times now because they were ignorant and you were fucking young and stupid.
Everyone,
And you
says
got a
stupid
constant
shit.
hard on. You're trying to fuck everything. Nothing makes sense. You think you have to be somebody. You're basically throughout your youth, you're trying to find out who the fuck you are, and probably pretending to be a bunch of other people along the way because you don't know who the fuck you
Also,
are.
You're a person. You're gonna fuck up.
Right. So to hold anybody accountable for shit they said 10, 15 years ago is wild to me. It's fucking crazy.
Well, I'm surprised this hasn't come up. If you look at the first joke on Eddie Murphy's first album, on the album, it's called like faggots. That's the name of the joke.
Right.
And he does this whole thing, which you see it now, you're like, holy shit, that's a little crazy. But back then that wasn't a thing because so it's like, are we gonna now go back? I'm surprised they haven't come back and try to cancel him on that shit where it's like, you have to apologize for something that you said when it was socially acceptable, not saying it's right, but it like that's where it was. Now we know that it's not okay to do that, so you don't do that kind of stuff, you know. But it's like, where does it end? You know, it never ends, and it only creates. So now this is where you get these kids now. They have no room to fuck up in life. Everything is meant like play dates, all this other shit. So when they do fuck up, it's going to be really bad, and they're going to be adults, and there's going to be no turning it around. You know?
Right.
You can't, like, you got to do stupid shit when you're younger. You got to take risks. You got to, like, if you don't, when you finally do fuck up, you're going to, for one, you're not going to know how to deal with it. And two, you're probably going to do something that's detrimental to the rest of your life. You know?
Right.
It's pretty scary, really. Think about that crazy shit we used to do when you were younger. I mean, our shit was a little bit nuttier than most people, but like, dude, as kids, you just go out and you do fucking dumb shit. You start fires, boy. You know, you break shit. You do all kinds of dumb shit. You vandalize stuff. You hope you make it out alive, basically. You know?
Yeah, you're young and you're stupid. And this is the thing, man. To hold anybody accountable, there's nobody perfect on this planet. Everybody's made mistakes, and I think having humility and being humble as a person shows that you've been through a lot. A lot of times I don't like people who don't have some kind of temperament about them where they can admit, hey, that was fucked up that I did that.
Yeah, dude.
Because that to me says you've never really experienced a lot. Because we all make mistakes. And most people, when they make a mistake, go, oh man, that was fucked up. I did that. That came out of my mouth. I was mad. I shouldn't have done that. And it's over. We don't need to hold that dude accountable 10 years later because he felt bad immediately when he said it and it got worked out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking crazy.
It's just life, dude.
It's just life. Exactly. This is exactly what this is the privileged elites figuring out ways to occupy their time and teach and tell the plebes in us how to behave and act as civilized people. When in reality, we're just fucking humans. You know what I mean? They're not Jesus Christ and they're not fucking gods, but they act like it. And they're like, we want to tell you how to live.
Well, this is what's been going on since day one. So all throughout history, right? They think they're in a different class. So if you're Bill Gates and Bill Gates has like 160 IQ, the guy can go photographic memory. So he thinks he can fix everything. And him being like, this is what pisses me off about the Democratic Party is like, you're too stupid to do anything for all the people out there. We're going to figure it out for you. And it's like, that shit never works. Ever. Anytime you try to plan out society, this is why it's so crazy about this whole great reset and all this other shit. They think like, okay, we're gonna figure this out because it's fucked up, and it's going to go drastically terrible. Like, there's no way. There's no possible way it's gonna go well.
Anytime there's a drastic change in society, I feel like we sacrifice millions to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's the invention of like the wheel and people are like, oh, you have a wheel? And we're like, yeah, you should have one too.
Yeah, but we're not mandating how you can use the wheel.
Exactly. This is with power, with these positions of power and these people trying to make decisions for you. The experience I have with it that blew my mind the most was when we were doing that hurricane relief and we were the only ones there helping people. And everybody was a fucking volunteer. And the military guarded the distribution center. The military wasn't even allowed to act. They just stood there with guns. That's their orders. So people somehow came up. Before I got there, put this lady in charge. But it's just volunteers.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying us to help. And we had a warehouse full of everything you could possibly imagine to help people. Water, diapers, baby strollers, the necessities, toothbrush, toothpaste. We had a fucking Walmart-sized warehouse that the military was dropping shit off at, right? So somehow, at the end of one of the days, I was exhausted, bro. I was showering. I had a shower in the back of my Jeep with a tube that I pressurized, and I put water in it. So I'm showering in the back of the fucking Jeep, and this lady comes over, and she goes, can you guard the distribution center overnight? She's like, if anybody comes, if they don't have a screaming child, don't give them anything. And I was like, what did she say? Like, as she left. And the girl that was with me, she's like, what did she say? I was like, I'm going to tell you right now.
We're giving people shit. That's
we're
what
going to blow the fucking doors off this place. So I opened every bay of that fucking goddamn. And anybody that came up there, I was like, what do you need? Get out of the car. Tell me let's go through the warehouse and you grab shit. I'm like, you know what takes?
That's what it's there for.
For somebody to swallow their pride and come and ask for help.
Right. So you're going to tell them no?
This bitch, as a volunteer, took that position of power to hoard these supplies away from people that needed them in an emergency. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. And that's I think we have a lot of leaders that act that way.
But dude, that's like,
unless they got a screaming baby, you're not going to give them shit.
Did you ever see
bitch?
The Stanford prison thing?
That's what it reminded me.
That's what happened. All of a sudden, it's students and there's actual prison guards and they just clicked into it like that. It's terrifying. Because there's certain people that shouldn't be in charge. It's usually the people that want to be in charge.
That want to be in charge.
Like
exactly.
Because it sucks being in charge, dude.
Yes.
Being in charge fucking sucks.
Yeah, I think most rational people don't want the kind of responsibility that goes in because they care that much. Like if you're a real rational, caring human being, you probably don't go for those positions because you're like, I don't know if I'm qualified to really do that.
Yeah, and also
you're like saying, you don't have this ego. I can fucking do it all, bro. I'll solve transportation, fucking air, but everything. One shot. I'm the dude.
And that's what we have. We have these idiots out there now. I'm the dude.
You know what? I'm the dude who's playing the other dude disguised as this motherfucker.
Middle management.
That's who takes those positions.
It's
not somebody that's good at it. Be like, you know what? I don't know if I'm qualified to run the world.
It's like you ever been in a sales position and like they'll bring in a sales guy, sales manager that's never done sales, and everyone's go fuck yourself. You're gonna tell me what to do. You never even been in sales. That person is immediately, all right, we're not gonna pay attention to this guy. We're gonna work around this jerk off who's telling us how to do sales, and you've never done sales before. It's like it's the most egregious shit ever, and that kind of shit happens all the time. Oh, it's Sales Johnny over here. He read a couple books.
He's got
get on the phone and sell something. You fuck.
He's got a position of power. Positions of power are dangerous positions, and
for anybody, dude.
And the fact that we just as a country are so easily divided by we want our side in power. It's us wanting a small piece of that. Like, if you really feel
the rest of the world's like, we want to go to work.
I'll give you a great example, bro. I saw a fucking commercial for the upcoming midterms. And it was, this is the exact pitch of the whole commercial. It was, if you don't vote for Democrats, then Trump Republicans are going to take office and they're going to do X, Y, and Z. So you have to vote Democrat to stop blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so we're not even going to talk about these candidates' values or blah, blah, blah. They have a D and you gotta.
And that's like, that worked out fantastic last election, right? Now we have these jerk offs in office.
It's sports.
Dude, you know what they're going to do now too? This is what they're leading up to, I think. Joe Biden's going to step back. He's going to say, he said he had cancer or something the other day. They're going to take him out. They're going to turn on Biden. They're slowly turning on him. They're going to blame all this shit that happened
100%.
on him, and they're not going to take any responsibility for the fact it's the fucking policies. Oh, we made a mistake, all this stuff here, and they're going to turn but they're going to keep going with the same bullshit in the background.
Yes.
And it's going to get ugly, dude.
Yes.
Did you hear, so we've already talking about like not having Trump in office again because I think it would be a disaster, but he's saying now I'm going to fire everyone in the government. Dude, I would vote for that asshole if he actually came in and wiped out all the thousands of jobs that sit there. That is the deep state, if you want to call it. It's a bureaucracy is what it is. But that shit would be hilarious. Like, I just fired 50,000 people today.
Here's the thing.
A job opening.
Here's where I have a real like moral conundrum or just hashing this whole thing out with this upcoming election. So you got this guy who I honestly liked a lot of his policies. I did. I didn't like a lot of the shit that he said because I know what it's doing. It's pissing a lot of people off and it's not helping.
If I want to laugh, I'll go watch
exactly.
Comedy,
So it was kind of like, okay, dude, okay. But here's my dilemma. Right now, this guy, I don't believe prior to, I don't think when January 6th happened and all that stuff, that he had intentions of them acting that way. Here's the problem now. I think he's been through so much and he's so angry at all of the lies and the shit that's happened to him. And he's the type of guy that will fucking just fuck everything up.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, firing 50,000 government employees sounds like I fire the fireworks off the rooftop. Here's the problem. I also want our society to continue to function.
Well, it's not functioning very good right now.
Not right now. No, I know. So here's my dilemma. I want to see these fucking corporate politicians get kicked the fuck out of that palace.
All of them, and all the people in the background that have been there for 20 years and 30 years, get them the fuck out of there, dude.
The thing that I want to not happen is I don't want an angry person with a grudge running our country. You know what I mean? Like right now, this whole thing,
dangerous.
It's very dangerous
because he's gonna come in like
he's fucking heated, bro. It's like giving a guy.
He's justifiably pissed too. I get
exactly.
It,
I don't blame the dude. But here's the point: regardless of how we got here, I want somebody who has our country's best interest at heart. That's truly what I don't give a fuck what side he's on. I know that's like wishing for Santa Claus to be real, but that's what I want. I don't want an aggressive. Let's stir up more fighting and hatred and vitriol.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I'm at that dilemma because I like he's like, fuck it. These people gotta go.
I would love it. Like if you came in, dude, because that's what we need is we need a great reset in fucking DC.
Here's the thing though. Recently in my life, I've tried to avoid doing my knee-jerk reaction. And it's gotten me, I'm a lot happier. Well, that's stressed out.
Not like, oh, fucking take care of that right now.
Right. So I always question my initial knee-jerk reaction. So when I hear fire 50,000, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I got my dick out. I'm like, that's what happened. But then I'm like, wait a second. Wait a minute. Let's think about this long term. And then my brain starts saying, and
who's going to do all those jobs?
Yeah, like who's going to fuck
Dude, it's just going to be Trump and his fucking little weird ass nephew, Jared. And they're going to be in there just like up on Adderall. Like, dude, we got a lot going on in here, man. We don't have it. We fired everybody. We should have fired everybody.
Here's the real scary thing. The thing that terrifies me the most about what's happening. It doesn't matter if that was Trump or who was the guy that did it before? Ross Perot? Or any of these outside guys that weren't career politicians. And I think that they would have done it to them no matter what.
Oh, because you're not in the club, buddy.
You're not in the club. You don't know what we got going on and the deals we've made and all the bullshit. So they're going to run an outsider the fuck out of there, no matter who it is. I honestly believe that. Because after seeing this, because prior to him getting elected, I never liked him. I thought he was a fucking asshole. You're fired, Trump. Like I never liked The Apprentice. I never really liked him as a person.
I just never really paid attention to him.
But I never thought I never heard anybody call him racist. I never heard any of this stuff. Then all of a sudden he got elected and he was the devil. And I was like, wait, isn't he a fucking asshole? Like, he doesn't seem like the devil. I've never heard this before. I never heard he was a racist. I thought he was funny. He was Vince McMahon getting power slammed and shit. He was fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a
he was a
maniac,
billionaire. He was weird. I never thought he was a devil.
Well, he was
all of
a
a sudden
guy
he's the Antichrist.
Well, because he's the guy who was like basically like he was never let into the cool guy club.
Right.
Like he was the blue collar millionaire because he's a fucking dude. Look at him. He's a real estate guy. Dude.
Right.
He's a New York real estate guy, which is like all the pageantry and like everything's just blowing out of proportion. And he brings it back. Like that's how you make a deal is you blow it up to here and then you bring it back, and where it comes back is where you want to land.
Right.
That's great for like real estate deals. It's a little fucked up when you're talking about international affairs or
Here's the problem. I think they would have done what they're doing
to anyone.
to anybody, no matter who it is.
Oh, anyone that goes in there that's not part of that fucking club.
I'm not even part of anybody that they don't have enough shit on to
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
bury
yeah,
your
yeah.
entire family, and to your name means shit.
Yeah, you got to be on board.
You have to have that amount of fucking. They have to have that much on
or
you.
you got to be part of the.
Or you got to
plan.
just be a
You gotta
fucking
be on board.
bootlicking motherfucker.
Which just shows you like this Ukraine thing, right?
Yep.
So every fucking Democrat voted for that 40 billion,
Yep.
and then maybe 20 friggin' Republicans didn't. And it's like, what happened to the anti-war people? You like, what happened to all this shit? What happened? Like, it's just like, oh, you guys are on board with this horse shit because you're a part of the machine.
You know who? I'm going to say right now, and I think maybe if the Democrats aren't considering doing this, they're out of their fucking minds. I think they're
not going to do it. Whatever.
The guy who has impressed me the most through this entire process of all of the fucking vitriol and hate on both sides is Joe Manchin.
Yeah,
This motherfucker sat there as a Democrat and he was like, I'm not doing that. And they were like, what? And he was like, I'm not doing it because it's not good. I give that guy a lot of credit.
Well, because look at his constituency is West Virginia.
Exactly.
Dude, like he's got a.
If the Democrats don't push for Joe Manchin to fucking run.
Oh, dude, they hate Joe Manchin.
And he's the only one that would actually give them a shot because Republicans would be like, okay, this guy makes sense. He's at least reasonable.
Dude, they're doubling down. Like, look at it. This is what they did with the Trump thing, right? The media, they all propped him up because he's such a joke and everything.
Yep.
And they gave him so much fear. And then they screwed up. So they're part of the reason why he got in the office.
You heard that they're funding, and I don't know enough about this, so I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
You know, like this is complete. I just heard this.
Yeah,
I don't know this to be factual, but that they're funding Trump type political candidates.
Yeah, it is factual.
Okay.
And they've been doing it a lot because they're going, oh well, no one would possibly ever vote for this MAGA crazy person because they don't even understand. Like there was a Pew Research study done that shows like the right understands the left and who they are and where that, but the left has no idea about any conservatives. They have this blanket thing in their head that's not even true at all. So that's why they're doing dumb shit like that. It's like, shouldn't that be I don't know, against the rules or something like that? You're like, I guess there's nothing against the rules. It's fucking stupid.
There was a time, and I'm sure it's still happening now, but especially during COVID, there was an interview with a girl that lived in New York. It was a black girl, and she had gone to Long Island, and she had come back and seen pickup trucks with American flags.
Oh yes,
you remember this?
It's fucking.
And she had told this story as if they were hunting her through the streets, and she was terrified. She didn't say that. I'm not saying that.
Car like terrified.
Right. She had just seen
there was an American flag in the back of a fucking truck,
and she equated that to racism,
white supremacy. Where you're like, dude, how did that happen?
And this is the part that really broke my heart about that, because whether she feels I think she was probably telling a story she thought either that she was completely full of shit.
Dude, she said it from inside her car while they were driving by.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was terrified. She really thought these people were gonna like murder her. Dude.
Okay. Well, here's the
fucking
thing.
Ridiculous.
For people that don't understand, for the people that are flying an American flag that I ever have known, those people most of them would lay down their life for you because of, and that's what that symbolizes.
Yeah.
It symbolizes like unity and we got your back and we're all in this together. That's never been a symbol of hate, and it shouldn't be looked at. If you got a problem with the government, I get it.
I
get it. We all have a problem with the government. Here's the thing though. When you see a dude who's a white dude with with American flag in the back of his truck, maybe he was in the service, or he just supports the military, or he just supports the country, or he just likes America. Right. He's not a threat because nobody flying an American flag, like, you know, to me, if something was going wrong, if I was being attacked and you ran by and you had an American flag cape on, I'd be like, yeah, I would, you know what I mean? And that's how everybody should feel. black, Asian, alien, the motherfucker. If you're here,
it's
that flag stands for
scary,
help.
dude. It's really scary. Well, because our government's fucked up so bad, and we've done so much terrible shit.
Yeah.
Not us, our government.
Right.
Like the bullshit we got going on right now.
Right.
Ukraine war. We're fighting a proxy
You're
war against
absolutely
Russia, and that shit could have ended a while ago. And nobody even knows like that. I think the reason why Russia does not want a NATO ally on their border. That's the whole fucking thing. Not because fucking Putin wants to take over the whole fucking Europe, but you can't blame him. But it's twisted into this whole thing of like now we stand with Ukraine. Like,
well, here's the thing.
Half these people don't even know what's going on in Ukraine.
Right.
That we fucked up in 2014. We propped that government up behind far right wing.
Oh
fascists.
yes, and here's the thing. 14. I think it was since 2014. There's been 12,000 Ukrainians that Russian-speaking Ukrainians killed from 2014 till now, like 12,000, and that was in this war in the Donbass region, where Russian-speaking Ukrainians didn't
eliminated.
want to abide by the Zelensky regime. They were like, no, we want to be with Russia. We don't believe in this election type thing, and they were shelled by artillery. Since 2014, they lost 12,000 people. So here's what I take with this type of conflict.
He was put in office by us and other
right. But here's what I always take about these types of conflict. There's levels and so much that has gone into this before that. Now we have a ground war in Europe. That the fact that I'm hearing how great Ukraine is right away says to me that that's bullshit. So
yeah,
we never get, and it's propaganda because we don't get told the story about the 12,000 people since 2014 that have been taking artillery shells in the Donbass region. We don't get told that. So we're not being told the news. We're being told a skewed view of events all the time.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving us the facts. So right away, I don't trust it. And, I just don't, I know that you're lying because I'm not hearing any facts to this fucking story that are very relevant.
We're so knee deep in the propaganda right now. We don't even realize it. Dude, Noam Chomsky just came out and said, even under the Soviet Union, Russians were allowed to watch BBC and shit. He's like, we are cut off from all Russian. We don't know anything going on over there. We don't know. The only thing we know is what we're fed.
Right.
That's fucking Noam Chomsky, who I don't agree with on most shit,
right.
Who was like 100% correct. You know, it's insane, dude. And like, what's his name? Lex Friedman came out too, and he said, listen, I talked to people in Russia. They think we're all the ones being propaganda, not them. And the people in Ukraine think the Russians are being propagandized. So the propaganda is so fucking good that we all are so knee deep in it. We think the other people are in propaganda.
Right.
And it's like, okay,
I think
we're doing great.
There's the very small part of the population of the world has had the privilege to be educated enough to see through all of the bullshit. So there's some parts, like I don't think that the Russian people hate me because of things that I'm doing, right? And I don't think the Russian, but the governments make us hate each other as people and tell us these stories that rile you up and make you pick your country's side, blah, blah. Of course, to me, and I do not believe in like a globalist at all. No, I believe in fucking castles and fucking, that whole thing, because there's people out there that will do you fucking harm. And having, you know what I mean? And I'm not a globalist. I don't know how else to fucking put it without going down a rabbit hole. But
well, that's what's going on right now. This is just globalist agenda shit. And like when you say that, it got attached to like some anti-Semitic nonsense for years, where it's like, this is what the goddamn Great Reset is, dude. It's a global. It's just a whole global friggin' government, dude. Look at the World Health Organization right now. They're trying to like take over for our shit. They're trying to take over what our bodies could do. The World Health Organization above the federal government. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm. And why do you think? And so you can go down these conspiracy fucking.
I don't think it's conspiracy,
and not even conspiracy rabbit holes.
You know?
Here's the thing: what country in the world could repel a fucking foreign government like anybody telling us what to do? Us,
yeah.
That's it.
Everyone else.
That's it. It's just us. Because, dude, you know we're the last ones.
Do you know there's a ton of uprisings all over the world that you don't hear about ever? Ask someone about what's going on in Denmark. Oh, it's in Denmark. Ask someone about Sri Lanka. Hey, what happened in Sri Lanka? No one even fucking knows. That's the direction we're going. They're 4 years ahead of what they're trying to do here. And it got to the point where the whole fucking country just went into their White House.
Yes,
it's like, get the
they
fuck
were
out
swimming. They were hanging out there, bro.
Of here.
I was
Playing
fucking
piano,
wild, dude.
Like, go fuck yourself. You see the guy running?
Yes,
He's running with his little suitcase. They get on things. It's
it
like,
was
dude,
amazing.
Yo, but like,
That, and I don't. It looked like they just swarmed him and they couldn't stop him.
that's
Like,
what happened.
yeah.
They're like, you know what? Fuck that. We're going.
We're going. We're taking.
And
the
the guy
house.
was like, we better get out.
"This is our fucking house.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking great.
This is our fucking house."
Dude, but that's what ends up happening. They were giving people days off from work to fucking grow their own food because there's no food because they're saying, oh, you're destroying the environment, blah blah blah. It's like, what do you guys do? They're trying to get us. There's some sort of thing going on.
I have to tell you this too.
It's terrifying.
I watch these fucking preppers, right? And they like I got the garden going, and I'm gonna we talked about this last episode. You would need to grow fucking at least 2 full acres of a garden to feed your family for any fucking substantial amount of time. And you would be a fucking skinny group of cocksuckers.
Yeah.
So all these fucking people are like, you could grow hydroponics in the city and feed you. Where? In a fucking warehouse? Because I weigh 255 pounds. If I have a daughter, it's either her eating or me. You know what I mean? Like with the fruit, what are we going to have? Fucking 16 tomatoes? What the fuck are we growing? Like, yo, if this food shit shuts down, we are all fucked. We're eating each other.
We're gonna make it in this country. It's gonna get a little hairy, I think, but other countries are gonna suffer.
Dude, and this
There's
is
gonna
exactly
be famine, dude. There's gonna be millions of people that die because of this shit.
What?
And you're like, you ever see that movie Gulliver's Travel and Lilliput when they're pouring fucking cabbages and everything? That's you trying to eat fucking vegetables.
I looked at the garden
You
and
gotta
I
be
was
good.
legit like this would I'm gonna be realistic. The garden is probably it's a good sized fucking garden. And I was like, I would die.
Yeah.
This wouldn't feed me for a fucking 2
Wait,
weeks.
dude, how many tomatoes do you need a week to not die?
I don't know.
Like
a
150?
lot. I'd be a walking skeleton with fucking with a 50 snow peas.
Well, that's why everyone was so skinny back then. You just
What do you got? I got 3 zucchini and 50 snow peas
Yeah.
for all winter.
Yeah. I'm just gonna eat these bullets.
People, I don't know. It just doesn't even make sense. If you don't live in an area where you can actually have a fucking farm, this shit ain't gonna work. You're better off getting a fucking ton of canned goods and saving your calories.
Better keep an eye on your
Getting
neighbor's
ammunition
keep
and
an eye on your
canned
neighbor's
goods.
dog.
And you don't even gotta go outside and go to the fucking canned goods, motherfucker. Like, I love it. People are like, you should city prep. What? Who the
Dude,
fuck?
the city's done, bro. If that shit goes down,
Oh, you're done.
yo, you get rid of the bridges in New York for one day and
It's
everyone
over.
starves because all the shit's being. That's why the
Yeah.
cities don't really work. Like Vegas is another one that doesn't work. There's no water there. It's all being piped in.
Lake Mead is drying up, bro. Real bad.
Oh boy,
Real
you know
bad.
why? Because of fucking almond farmers out there. You know how much water it takes for like one almond, dude? It's ridiculous. Hey, we drink almond milk and then we go to yoga and Pilates and finger each other.
Well, okay, so this may actually be a natural correction. I just thought about this. LA only exists because of Lake Mead, because of
really?
the Hoover Dam. They dammed it up and they directed the water flow to Los Angeles for that city. If we lose
Really?
Lake Mead, we lose LA, and that solves
Great.
a lot of fucking
Great.
problems.
Let's get rid of it.
But then
Hollywood. all
Hollywood spreads out though.
I
Maybe
mean,
we
dude,
get them an island and we
dude,
send all the
Hollywood's-
Hollywood people to a fucking island.
They're all done, dude. All of it's done.
I think
dude,
they don't even
all
have
these-
water in a minute.
No, all these they're all suffering because they keep doubling down on this horse shit, man. No one wants to be preached to about anything when you're entertainment or any of that shit. And it's like, did you see the news? So they came out. What is it? The Oscars for movies? That's what it is, right? So now the criteria to get a film even looked at by the Oscars has to check so many fucking ridiculous boxes that you're incapable of making like actual creative thing, you know, like it's like, oh, we have to have this, we have to have that, and like it's already hard enough to make a really good movie, you know.
Yeah.
And then now you got to check a list, dude. You're gonna scare off anyone who's actually creative at all. Is not gonna want to do that shit because they're gonna be like, go fuck yourself.
A lot of people don't realize this either when they see a Hollywood movie, that Hollywood is a gigantic fucking union that's called SAG, the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah.
If you step outside of what SAG wants, you're a pariah. Like if you fuck the union, that union is just like any other union.
I mean, they're
you
pretty
become a
powerful too,
scab,
right? Yeah.
right? And they're not going to work with you. So you know what I mean? Like that Screen Actors Guild's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So that's like their own woke fucking group of weirdos that have come together with the Screen Actors Guild, and they probably feel a certain way, and that's probably what
But they're
steers
gonna
that.
ruin everything, man.
Yeah,
And
because
you know
they
what's
don't.
happening? Here's the funny thing: is it's gonna people are just creating their own shit. That's why you get the comic books, right? That's why it blew up. What's it called, Zipperverse or whatever. That dude shit is blowing the fuck up because people that like comic books are like, oh great, he's just gonna do comic books because there's a guy who likes comics, you know?
Yeah, the thing that I love that this dude did this, and
I love it too. I
I
don't
am
even like
so
comics.
happy for this guy.
I think it's fantastic.
The problem is that we even like
Have
if
to do
okay.
that. Yeah, it's like,
If he just made these stories and they were good and people were buying them, I you know, in
I
Marvel,
think that's all he's doing.
and you know what I mean. But Marvel is what's happened is Marvel and Disney, when it acquired Marvel, has ruined all of our favorite superheroes to the point where a huge comic books fan has had to create his own company to get what he craves for entertainment, and that's
Yeah.
fucking sad.
It is sad.
Like,
Can
yo,
imagine if what's
you
his name-
ruined this dude's shit. This was his hobby. This motherfucker, this is his thing.
Yeah, he
and
loves
you,
it
and you fucking tore it all apart.
to the point where the guy's got to create his own shit.
Yeah,
I
and
mean-
you know, like this dude, like you know, like some people like skateboarding. This dude like comic, you know, baseball, basketball, whatever.
He
This dude like
book-
comic
he's a
books,
fucking
That was
nerd
his
and
whole
a metal,
shit.
and metal guy.
right? And it's fucked up that you ruin because a lot of us didn't have, like, you know, you don't have a hero, right? So you look to these stories, just like everybody's done. Look throughout time, you look to these mythical fucking heroes that don't even have a real. They don't exist.
They're not real,
Right.
and they're the best of all possible
Exactly.
things.
So you
and it's-
model,
yeah.
you try to become this motherfucker, even though you can't actually fly, but you can have his morality. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
act
yeah,
like
yeah.
this dude.
Because it's an impossible person. That's why it's a superhero.
Right. And
So now
yeah.
we don't want to see, like, it's very bizarre, man. It's a very bizarre thing.
Yeah,
I
it just
don't
doesn't make
understand
sense to ruin the stories for no reason. Like this, you can create new stories, right? Like, why do we have
Yeah.
to tear apart our old stories? Like, we don't just
because it's looked at as a threat, and this is retribution, is what it is. It's not
Yes.
equality; it's retribution.
and you
That's
can
what it is
feel
across the
the
board.
retribution.
yeah, and you can
like it
feel
feels dirty.
and it's so gross. It just ruins everything. That one thing ruins it. It pops a bubble of like,
Right.
you know, it just. It doesn't.
Here's the thing, too. When all of this stuff was being written, it was the times, right? So they didn't have gay characters because it was the times. Gay people, you know, like that wasn't celebrated in culture yet, right? So to go back and harp on these people, well, where were blah blah blah?
Yeah, but I mean, do you
Right?
remember Superman had like his relationship with what, Lois Lane? Was that even real? Like, it wasn't even, there was no sexual, it was just weirdness, you know? It's not like
Yeah.
you know, saw like really got in a depth of like,
Yeah, they
where's
had- yeah.
Aquaman, you know,
Right,
it's just
right.
it's fucking bugged out.
Yeah. They'd be like, it's the retribution that makes it feel wrong, right? So it's like if I stubbed my toe and then you punch me in the face because I stubbed my toe on your coffee table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Why are you mad at me? I heard, like, this
So
was an
fuck on my coffee
accident.
table.
This was an act, you know, like, we didn't do this on purpose to be like fucking assholes. We just did this. And now it, you know, like, it was the times, and now you taking retribution upon us. It makes it's just like nothing was done. The people who wrote these comics probably had no malice.
Well, this is
intended,
going
right?
on throughout everything, through art, and they're going back and
Yeah.
they're pulling things down.
I think that's the problem. When you look for malice in everything, you'll probably find a way to find it. And that's where I feel like it's strange and it's weird and it's upsetting, is when
Yeah,
people
yeah,
look
yeah.
for malice in everything, and they
Yeah.
find it and they attack it.
and that's why they're so angry.
Yeah. I think you can find it everywhere.
I mean, the other part of it too is it just seems like there's all these groups that have been created and it's like this generation of everyone's soft, where you're not comfortable with whatever you are, so you need outside validation, and that's where you're bringing me in. And I'm not going to do that. You do whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to play into your validation of like, oh, you're right, and let me get on board with this shit. It's just like, you know, why do you need that if you're comfortable with who you are? I don't understand. Yeah, on any level, I don't care what the fuck group it is. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, dude.
Right. I don't know when we started really caring as a culture, especially as Americans,
'Cause
what
we're
anybody said
soft
or
right?
fucking thought about us.
We're soft. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just became like, look at me.
When did we care?
It's individualism gone haywire, really, is what it is.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, we don't want collectivism to the point where now all of a sudden you're just immutable trait, your green eyes, your color of your skin, your color of your hair, or like a group. We don't want it that bad, but we also don't want like everyone doesn't have to be. You don't have to go out of your way. Like now, there these pronouns I saw on TikTok. It's like bug. Bug is a pronoun. Bug went in. I'm like, dude, get this fucking person the fuck out of here. Also, what I thought too, I'm like, listen,
throw him off the boat.
No,
He's got to go.
But I thought about this too. I'm like, what if these motherfuckers are just trolling the shit out of everyone because they're like,
could
yo, we're
be.
gonna piss these conservatives off. My new pronoun is bug, and then you got like Matt Walsh's head exploding.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Daily
yeah.
Wire.
Yeah.
So it'd be so funny to me if that was the case, dude.
I just had an epiphany as to why all of this bothers me. Because I have OCD real bad. And
Yeah.
here's why it bothers me. Right now, I truly don't give a fuck if everybody's running around like butterflies and figuring out who the fuck they are and their pronouns.
As long as
I
it's
truly
organized.
don't care as long as it's organized. You guys over there, you're the butterflies, you the motherfucking cat. Stay together. But anyway, you guys are confused. Anyway, my real fucking problem with all this stuff is in a time of relative peace, and by this I mean we do not have a direct threat trying to penetrate our nation's border. And maybe people say fucking illegal immigration. All right. But you get what I'm saying.
But we don't have an
people-
army marching onto our
Right.
beaches. and
We don't
fucking
have
blowing
people
shit up.
we're not fixing bayonets, right? Here's what scares me. All of this shit to me means that if if the shit really hit the fan, could we handle anything?
No.
Like, could we really as a country handle any adversity that was fucking for real?
We can't even handle
Right?
someone going, what country are you from? They're going, oh, but it's a fucking.
That's what scares
This
me.
is a microaggression. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
what if someone comes up and tries to stab you in the
Right.
face, dude?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm imagining we're like
You gonna
all,
call HR?
yeah, we're all behind like a bunch of sandbags and fucking there's a bunch of fucking purple aliens armed with some kind of technology we've never seen. And I'm really worried about them crossing over this threshold. And people behind me are going, stop saying guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And meanwhile,
That's
I
not my
got
preferred
fucking
pronoun.
3 hanger days. To fucking
Stop saying guy.
You know what I mean? That's
Yo.
why I have a problem with it. Because right now, okay, but later, fuck.
Yeah, it's not gonna end.
It's not going to end well if I'm on if I'm using the radio and I address you improperly.
It's ma'am.
You're not getting a call for fire until you address me by my pronoun.
Oh, boy.
I need a call for fire right now. God damn it, bitch.
Yeah, dude. That's gonna happen. That's definitely gonna happen at some point. They're just gonna hang up. I'm writing you up while you're just getting mowed over by purple aliens with 4 dicks growing out of their forehead.
I'm just imagining like a fucking.
The semen's on my face.
I'm imagining like an advanced infantry squad trying to call for fire from artillery, and the radio commands have to be fucking, like you have to go through these fucking pronouns before you can call for fire.
Yeah.
Danger close, goddammit! Fucking Susie Zebra Lima.
Yeah. What did you say? What did you say? You didn't use the new. You didn't use the new woke fucking.
Just bring it
alphabet.
on me. Just dump it right on my fucking
You
head.
can't say S for Susie. Now S has to be Samsonite. Dude, we're fucked.
How you gonna work out in the signal corps? God damn it!
Yeah, we got to get rid of those people.
That's
Stop making
so
them up.
funny.
I really honestly think there's only like 35 of these idiots in the country. But they just put them on the news all the time. Like there's like a roving band of douchebags on the right and the left. And they
like
set up.
They're gypsy assholes.
No, they set up. They do like they're selling fucking.
T-shirts at
there's-
concerts.
They're selling snake oil.
Yo,
They're causing problems. They're
Yeah.
launching grenades. They got
That's
purple
so
hair and 9
fucking
tits
funny,
in their
dude.
head. A roving band of retards.
They're the gypsy douchebags.
Yeah, the gypsy cunts.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the gypsy cunts.
And they're just trying to fucking sell some T-shirts to buy meth, and we're buying it as a country.
yeah, right. And
They're like, I think these people are onto something. You know what?
they're
Fuck
like, I think the checks are about to stop coming in from CNN. They're having some trouble over there.
it. Jesus Christ.
And Tucker Carlson's in the back. He's like, we need more flags. We need more flags. Put that MAGA hat on and throw something at that lady, you fucking loser. I got a show to do. That'd be so great. That'd be so fucking great.
Oh my God.
If we just caught like the real behind the scenes shit, it was like an hour long. It was just like what's happening. Everyone was just like, what the fuck did we just watch? Tucker Carlson's kicking midgets and fucking.
Here's how divided the country is. Okay. I'm watching the fucking January 6th trials because I'm watching January 6th trials. I'm watching these assholes clearly reading off a teleprompter. Their eyes are doing the
Are
whole
they
fuck.
really?
Oh, it's so
Oh,
bad.
my God.
And not only some people can hide it, Adam Kinzinger could not hide that he was reading a teleprompter. It was so obvious that he's reading word for word with his eyes that I was like, come on. So this is obviously scripted. But here's the funniest part was I was watching this shit and I'm like, let me see what Fox News has on. Fox News had on, this whole trial is bullshit.
Yeah.
So everybody, so the only people watching the January 6th trial are people who either really buy into it or assholes like me that I'm like, let me see what these fucking people are up to. You know what I mean?
Yo, and it's like, not why should we need a trial, a real trial to figure out like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
Who the
where?
fuck- why would they be let in the building? Why wasn't there no security? Who the fuck was behind? I don't give a shit who was behind it, but that shit should have never fucking happened.
No.
That should have never happened. That
No.
you can just walk into the goddamn thing. Like none of it should have happened. That should have been armed to the teeth, dude.
Yeah.
They should have been surrounded by people with guns,
Yes.
and it wouldn't have happened.
Yes. And
I don't get it.
I think there's a position called Sergeant at Arms that and as far as I understand it, is in charge of implementing and accepting and approving these plans for security, which I think was Nancy Pelosi. So this bitch, if whoever the Sergeant at Arms was, if I understand the process
I believe it
correctly,
was as well.
they have a lot of questions to fucking answer. And all of this trial and hearsay and
It's not even a
teleprompter.
trial, for Christ's
Exactly.
sakes.
It's a fucking, it's
It's
theater.
pageantry,
It's
dude.
theater. The whole thing is theater.
And it was, dude, it was produced.
It's
by
so
a goddamn
obvious.
producer from Hollywood put all of it together. Like they took all this footage. Like, why isn't all the footage released? Because whoever's responsible for that shit, outside of the jerk offs that actually went in there, but it's like that shit should have never fucking happened. And it wasn't an insurrection. How come no one's been arrested for insurrection yet?
Right.
That's
Well,
an
that-
actual charge.
Right.
It's insurrection.
Yes. There's a problem when we're all being lied to on so many levels.
Dude.
That,
And now it's
that's
just
the
like,
real problem.
fuck it. I'm just gonna believe this because it makes me feel better.
Right. You know, I think that's the real problem I have. I don't side with any political party. I don't agree with
I
it.
think most people are like
Right.
that nowadays. No.
Yeah, I don't agree with 100% of anything anybody says, right? So I may lean one way. I definitely lean more conservative. Just if I,
I mean, what makes sense?
right.
Yeah.
And maybe one day I'll lean more fucking liberal.
Again, when it used to be liberal,
Right.
I don't know what the fuck it is now. It's insane.
I think right now the Republican, everybody's just hiding over there going, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, but the
You know, and they're
Republicans
just like-
don't do shit either.
I know,
like
that's
they
the
do
problem.
It's the same fucking nonsense every 4 fucking
Right.
years. It's just, oh, we're not gonna do anything.
I agree.
We're all gonna get-
100%.
And it's like I think people are kind of seeing now where it's like, all right, no one's doing anything for you.
Right.
None of them. There's like 5 people in fuck Congress that do shit. I think, and they hate, and everyone hates them.
Mhm.
Everyone fucking hates them, dude.
Mhm.
It's nuts, man. I don't know. It's gonna wind up pretty good this fucking winter.
We're gonna have fun no matter what.
Yeah, we're gonna blow.
I'm gonna have a great fucking
we're,
time.
We're gonna blow up my podcast today.
Yes.
Grand finale.
Yes.
All right, dude. We're at like an hour and a half.
All right, we're out of here. All right, listen. This is Loading Octopus podcast. Tune back in if we're still here and Fred's not in jail. We'll be here on Thursday, 8:30. Stay safe out there. Keep your mind open and your asshole puckered.
Fuckered assholes.